Hello, everybody. I hope you had a really lovely weekend. Welcome back to some more Zog learning this week for our English. Now, when we left Zog last time on Friday, can you remember what he was trying to do? I'll give you a clue. He wasn't having much luck. That's right, he was trying to capture a princess and he really needed your help because although he was trying, it was not working out very well. It was fantastic to hear some of your brilliant ideas about how he could capture that princess. So let's have a look at the story and see if he managed to do it. So just going to quickly remind you that in year 4, he was trying to capture a princess. And here it is. All the year 4 dragons were learning. Can you guess? Yes, said Madam Dragon, how to capture a princess. Now that you've been shown, you can practice on your own. You'll need to capture hundreds by the time that you're fully grown. Zog went off to practice. He tried and tried and tried. But he simply couldn't manage. I'm no good at this, he cried. Oh dear, he needs to be resilient, our resilient raccoon, and keep trying, doesn't he? I'll never win a golden star. Just then, he saw the girl. Perhaps, she said, you'd like to capture me. I'm Princess Pearl. What a good idea, said Zog. Then up and off they flew, the princess gripping tightly as they zigzagged through the blue. Ah, said Madam Dragon, our first princess so far. Congratulations, Zog, my dear. You've won a golden star. Zog was so proud and happy. And Pearl felt good as well. She took the dragon's temperatures and she nursed them when they fell. They had a really happy ending. So that was year 4. Today we're going to think about year 5 of Dragon School. And in year 5, it's a bit dangerous because a year went by and in year 5, the dragons learned to fight. Right, said Madam Dragon. Here comes a real live knight. Up spoke the knight. My name, he said, is Gadabout the Great, and I've come to rescue Princess Pearl. I hope I'm not too late. Zog breathed fire and beat his wings. You can't, she's mine, he roared. Oh, no, she's not, yelled Gadabout, and he waved his trusty sword. The other dragons crowded round and watched them all agog. Who was going to win the fight? Sir Gadabout or Zog? Now, I'm not so sure about this part of the story. I know that sometimes we fall out with people and it's tricky sorting out whose friend is who sometimes and who's going to play with who and who's going to do different things. But is fighting ever the answer? And I know, year 1, that you will all be shouting, no, Miss Brown, fighting is never the answer. I can tell that Zog is very much feeling not very impressed. He's got his new friend, Princess Pearl, and someone's coming to take her away. And actually, I'm not sure that she wants to be taken away anyway. So he's feeling rather cross. Here he is, rather cross. What do we call it when we're feeling really rather angry and really rather cross? What zone would that be? That's right, he's in the red zone. And so is Sir Gadabout. He's also feeling really mad, really cross, really angry. And we're looking here at the red zone and it says they might be really mad, really angry. They might be yelling, they might be hitting. Yeah, they're about to have a fight. Really not a good zone to be in. And we know that that is not the way we want to spend our time. But they're feeling that real anger, that real frustration over who's going to have Princess Pearl. That's not good. So I think we need to help them out today. because we are all really good when we're getting much better at talking about how we're feeling. Thinking about, how do I feel today? Because we all sometimes get ourselves in that red zone, that really cross zone. Sometimes we're a little bit silly or a little bit frustrated. We might end up in that yellow zone. I know sometimes we're a bit tired or under the weather. We're not feeling very well. We're a bit sad. We're in that blue zone. But we like to stay in that green zone. That green zone is when we just feel at our best. We feel fantastic. So we're going to help Zog and Gadabout get into that green zone to help them solve their problem. So we need to help them think, what can they do? Zog wants Princess Pearl, so Gadabout wants Princess Pearl. They both want her. What could they do? So I want us to have a think about our zones of regulation. They are in this red zone. How are we going to get them into this green zone? Get them feeling happy again, get them feeling calm, let them feel ready to be friends and get on with their day. So I want you to think about when you're feeling really angry in that red zone, really frustrated, and you just think, I can't control it anymore. What helps you get back into that green zone? It's tricky, isn't it? When you really get to that point of the red zone, to try and think, how do I get myself back into that calm place? And everybody has different things that make them feel calm, make them feel good in that green zone. But what's good for you? Have a little think. If you're finding it tricky, you might need to talk to somebody at home and have a think together about how you get into that green zone. But you might think to yourself, actually, I know what helps me. I know I have to take time out if I'm in that red zone. I need some time away, need some calm time. Sometimes having a drink helps. Sometimes doing some big, deep breaths and just taking a moment to calm myself down, calm down my breathing. When I'm in the red zone, I'm all a bit shaken, a bit excitable, and it feels a bit difficult. So big, deep breaths. And I know some of you, we've done some lovely, big, deep breathing with and being mindful and being calm. That sometimes helps me. Sometimes I'm too angry and that doesn't help. Sometimes I need to go for a walk. I go for a really fast walk and that makes me slowly calm and I can think things through. I also like listening to music. So that's a really good thing for me. It helps me think about whether I'm in the red zone or the yellow zone or the blue zone. Sometimes some really loud music and having a sing along really helps me. But different things help different people. So what could it be for you? What could it be for Zog? What could it be for Gadabout? And how are they going to solve this problem? You might have a problem like this sometimes when you're on the playground, when you want to play with one friend and somebody else wants to play with them too, and you're not feeling that great about sharing your friends. So how do you solve that problem? What do you do? And there's this fancy word here that we talk about, actually, we talk about that word compromise. That word compromise. Can you find a compromise? A little bit of what you want and a little bit of what the other person wants so that you're both happy. So can Sir Gadabout and Zog think, what is a compromise? How can they sort out the problem that will make Zog a little bit happy and Sir Gadabout a little bit happy, that in between? Well, I'd like you to have a think because today we are going to help Zog and Sir Gadabout by writing a letter. We're going to write a letter that helps them think about how to get back in that green zone and make the day a positive day, not a fighting day. So over here, I've got a picture. I've got a picture of something over here. Does anyone know what this thing here is? Hopefully you might have received some from school. I know I've sent some your way. That's right, they're postcards. They're postcards. So postcards are a little bit like letters. They have a picture on one side. So you might want to do a postcard to Zog and Sir Gadabout to draw them a picture of the things you're talking about on the front. Then they have writing on one side. And then on this side here, they have the address. So that they can get delivered. They go to the right place. It's no good having a letter that doesn't get to the right place. That's really, really important. So you need to put an address on it. They've also got a stamp. That means that when they put it in the post box, it will definitely get there. On the other side of my screen here, I've got a letter, okay? And it's got some of our words that we use for letters in it. That dear, you can have dear or to. This one's a thank you letter. Your letter's not going to be a thank you letter, is it? Yours is going to be telling them what they should do to feel better, but they've got the dear and they've got the from. So you've got a postcard or a letter you could write. So the first thing you need to decide today is when you're writing to Zog and Sir Gadabout, are you going to write them a postcard? with a picture on one side and the writing and their address, or are you going to write them a letter? You can also put their address on the letter if you want to do that. But there's not normally space for a picture in a letter. So have a think, what would be best for you? I'm just going to pause you for a second now because my battery is about to die on my laptop. So I'm just going to put you on charge and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I won't lose you partway through now. So, as we were saying, you were thinking about whether you were going to write a letter or a postcard to Zog and so get about. And the point of this letter or postcard is to tell them how they can solve their problem. Tell them not to fight. We don't do fighting at Pashley. And how can they solve their problem a different way? So to help you get started today, I've actually put some of the words that you might need over here. So I've got dear. So that's how we start a letter or postcard. You can start it with to if you'd prefer. So you can have dear or you can have to. I've used the word dear, but you can use the word to. We know that's one of our tricky words and we spell it. That's right, with a t and a o, because it sounds like t-oo, but the oo sound isn't written with the two o's, the two o. It's just one by itself. So you could write to or you could write dear. So dear or to. I'm going to write mine to Zog. You could write yours to say get about and Zog, or you could just write it to Zog too. Mine's to Zog. I'm going to try and appeal to his better nature. So it says, dear Zog. Then I need to tell him why I'm writing. So I've started my letter, please don't fight. And then my next sentence says, instead of fighting, you could, and then I haven't put what they could do because I want you to think about that today. So instead of fighting, you could, and you could tell them how to get out of the red zone. You could say, instead of fighting, you could walk away, take a deep breath. Instead of fighting, you could talk to Sir Gadabout and explain what is happening. Think about what you think he should do. So you're going to give him what he should do instead. So please don't fight. Instead of fighting, you could. And at the end, I've got love from. You could just put from. If you're writing a fancy letter, you can write kind regards. But I'm going to stick with love from today because I quite like Zog. I want him to be my friend. So you're going to start your letter with dear or to. You can have Zog or you could have Sir Gadabout. If you want to use my words to start your writing today, that's absolutely fine. So you can start your letter or postcard, please don't fight. Instead of fighting, you could. And if you want to, you can leave this screen up and copy them. And then you're going to write what they're going to do instead. And then you're going to finish your postcard or letter, love from or kind regards, and your name so they know who it is from. If you'd like a challenge today, I want you to think about this conjunction, this joining word here. This word is the word or, and I'll give it some awesome orange, or. Because actually, as we were talking about earlier, everybody has different ways of getting in that green zone and solving problems. So what suits you might not be right for Zog or Sir Gadabout. So you might want to give them two options. So you might want to write something like, please don't fight. Instead of fighting, you could ask somebody to help you. Or you could try and sort it out yourself. Or you could say, please don't fight. Instead of fighting, you could walk away and take a deep breath. Or you could ask Princess Pearl to help you think about some different things that they could do. Because actually, Princess Pearl needs to be told what she would like. Zog wants her, Sir Gadabout wants her, but actually, what does Princess Pearl want? Nobody's asked her. So have a think about what you'd like your letter to say. Now, it's been really lovely learning all about Zog with you. I love to hear what you're going to say to Zog and Sir Gadabout to stop them having a fight. And I really hope it works because we know that fighting is not a good place to be in. I hope having a chat about the zones of regulation helps you today too, helps you think about what makes you feel good and in the green zone. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day and I will speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye, everybody. Goodbye.